sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Hi, guys,
Oh,
and
that's fine.
welcome to Sci-Fi-Vision for June 10th for Midnight Murderbot. This is the 5th episode, right, which is called Rogue War Infinite Tracker. I had to see what it's called there because I don't even remember without looking. But welcome, everybody, and welcome my co-host Scarlet.
Greetings.
Sorry that we're a couple minutes late again. Trying to not be, it's hard when we're doing watch parties. Messes it up. But thank you guys for coming. If you haven't, make sure that you join the Discord, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. I always try to remember at the beginning here. If you haven't, make sure that you join. You can get a link to our schedules and watch parties and all that good stuff. Pin it. There we go. But if you are not used to our channel, please make sure that you check out all our live streams and also our videos for our interviews. We have live streams on Sunday. We have Dead City. Monday, we have this show. And Tuesday, we have our weekly roundup Fandom Access. And Thursday, we have Librarians, the next chapter. So lots of stuff going on. So hi, Kimberly. Hi, Muncher. So yeah, make sure you check all that out for our schedule. And I still have one more Murderbot interview that will be going up in the next few days. I put the most recent one up with the ones who play Mensa in Garathan. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure that you do. And yeah, so well, this was, I guess this one wasn't actually as short as it felt like it was. I was going to say it felt really short, but I guess it was, I think, 23 minutes. So it actually wasn't that short compared to the other ones, but it felt like it. I'm sorry if I keep sniffing. My allergies are still bad. I keep going every time I'm talking.
Okay.
So
I just took some. I took some allergy pills myself. So
well, I was feeling like this last time I was on. So what did you think about this episode?
Well, like you said, it was short and sweet. I mean, I just got revved up, and then it was done. I was just like, yeah, okay, and this thing's happening, and credits. It's done.
Yeah. It does.
I mean, it was good the whole way through. It was pretty funny, and had a lot of action going on. But I just wanted, it keeps you wanting more. That Murderbot.
Yeah. I was gonna say I do like that more stuff last week. Obviously, is when it started happening, and this week there's more action. It is actually things are happening and going. Thanks, Muncher. I forget what the crane shots. Well, it's a lot to get the screenshots. I was telling Scarlett earlier, I got, I think 99 screenshots this time. So I overdid it a bit, I think, after last time not having them. So we got plenty. But yeah, I like things are happening. We do also in this episode get the Labibi, the new character played by, I don't have my cast list down. I'm supposed to have cast list up so I can.
Yeah.
Because offhand, I can't think of what her name is. I knew it until I said that. And
I know she's listed on Wikipedia too.
Yeah, Anna Conkle is the woman who plays that. So yeah, we get the introduction of her in this episode. So let me ask you, since I had seen this before and you hadn't, were you surprised that they introduced a new character at this point? Because it's pretty late in the show. Well, I mean, I guess it's halfway through, but like it's been only them for so long, and then suddenly there's this other character who's there, and it is suspicious, as we said earlier. But I don't know. What did you think besides that?
I did like with her. I was expecting there to be maybe a character or two, but I didn't expect her to she kind of just popped out of nowhere, and then I wasn't really paying attention, and then she was just there, and I just assumed she was part of that other party, but I was like, there was no like scene where she kind of wandered in.
Yeah. Yeah, she was in, I guess I'd say the bushes, the plant. She was kind of hiding back there because she had been almost killed by the rogue sec unit and came on. And I guess it does kind of sound like Anaconda. I said it fast, Muncher. Anna Conkle is the woman's
Anaconda.
name. Anaconda. It does kind of sound like that when you say it fast, but yeah. But yeah, so last week we left off with the sec unit shooting himself, trying to protect his people, and him knowing that his module, his whatever it was, combat module, was getting overwritten. And it starts out with right there, and the whole crew, most of them are like freaking out, worried he's dead. They're trying to drag him in, and that's whenever that the BB pops up, and Arata almost shoots her because she's like, "Who is this person?" But she's like, "I'm from Deltfall." So yeah, she's supposed to be from the place that everybody got killed. We don't really. I mean, the only thing we know about her really by the end of the episode is she says she was an indentured servant, but you know,
And her
whether
name's
that
Lee BB.
or not, and that her name's Labibi, and that's about all we know. But they're busy. The thing is, they let her into their place, but I feel like they're really distracted trying to take care of him, and that maybe they should have paid a little more attention to what was going on. But they just bring her on in, and don't, because they're busy trying to save him. And the whole time, of course, he's talking in his head, talking his internal monologue about how stupid they are to save him.
They didn't
So you
take the
get
hint.
worried.
They didn't take
Yeah,
the
they
hint when he
the
shot
hint.
himself.
Yeah,
That there might be a problem.
he thought he took care of it, but now they're going to bring him back after all that. At least they're trying to. And as he
That's
says,
what friends are for.
Yeah, that's a friend. But that's, I mean, that's literally what he said. He says that they're fucking stupid. So
Yeah.
I could kill them all when I wake up. But Bard Swatch is trying to do her. Wait, he's also seeing. She's trying to help him and take the chip out, but he's also seeing clips of his memory again, where it seems like maybe he's shooting people and we don't really know. So he's trying to the memory fix, but he sees what happened to him, and he sees himself. I think that was kind of more for our benefit if you missed the last episode, but he sees it happening and he's kind of falling. But yeah, they drag him in and they don't think really much of it. I'm surprised though he was only as injured as much as he was. Like, I know that he has a huge hole in his chest. Sorry, but that other time, like half of his torso was missing, and this time he just has like a hole. So I don't know. I actually think he looked worse off the other time. But there they are dragging him in, and that dude, that is the thing that the other section that was squashed by the squashed by the hopper, which they move at the end of the episode, which I hadn't thought about till now, but obviously they do leave the hopper, so that body is going to still be there. Hopefully it is still squashed. But and I already took a picture of the plant. I love their alien life on this show. It's pretty cool. It's different. It's kind of like, I don't know, lollipops or eyeballs or something. I'm not sure which.
I'm sure they're delicious.
No, but I mean, it looks like eye stalks to me. That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
These trees. But there's where they're flipping out, and they're like, "Who is this person?" There's Labibi, and they really don't get much information from her before they bring her in. She's just like, "Don't shoot me," and they listen, and we'll, I guess, find out if that's a good thing or a bad thing later. And they drag him in, and then here they're trying to fix him up. This is before Barkswatch works on him, I guess, because he's there in the machine. And Labibi does talk to them a little bit. She says she's from Industrial Junction 151523. The only thing I know is that those are lost numbers in there. So that's my only comment about that. I don't know if it has any significance, but it is a lost number. But they're asking her about if she knows, what happened to her people, if she knows anything about the robots, the sec units, whatever, that attacked her people and why it went rogue, and she doesn't. But she's busy looking at him, which I can't say I blame her. But meanwhile, Barkswatch, like I said, she's trying to pull out the hacked combat module. She's using like this glove thing that's like this sort of, I don't know, reminds me of like a VR glove. And she pulls it out of the back of his neck and reboots him. But
cool
Baby is saying, sorry, what?
It's cool looking. The thing that they have in the
actually, it makes me think of like VR gloves, or actually reminds me of what they used in Doctor Who recently. But yeah, she's
it kind of reminded me of the movie Brazil.
Yeah, that I don't know.
The stuff
What's
that
that movie about?
It's Terry Gilliam film. It's a Terry Gilliam film.
Gilliam.
It has kind of like steampunk elements in it.
Oh, cool.
It's a really good movie. One of my favorites.
Very cool. I tend to like Terry Gilliam stuff, but I haven't. I hadn't heard of that. I mean, not that I've read his stuff, but I mean like the TV shows that have been
Yeah.
made on it. I've tended to like. So she's commenting a lot on him and saying that she didn't know they had faces and that basically that he's good to look at. Oh, and she also questions that like he shot himself. It shot himself to save them because their sec unit just attacked. And I like how she does it. It makes me think of Terminator. I don't know. She's like, ours was just beep, 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 like shooting, attacking them. But yeah, but she's saying that he's good looking, basically. And then she starts going off about asking if they think he has, well, she calls it pee-pee a penis. And starts making all these comments about how he could have a one that you could maneuver around where you wanted, basically. And they're like, Ron is like, I think you're in shock. And she continues.
This is the most awkward conversation from start to end.
It is, but it was funny. I appreciated it, and I think we've kind of all questioned the whole. You know, he looks like a Ken doll, and they've mentioned a couple times that not planet, the around there, that they have, not around there, but I mean like in the galaxy or whatever, that they do have sex bots. So I don't know, maybe
they
that's
have
what
attachments.
like. She's curious. Yeah, we talked last time that one time about they might have attachments. It sounds like they do, attachments that they can make vibrate and control their direction. But anyway, so they're talking about it, and I find it funny nobody else is like getting in on this conversation or even saying anything. They just kind of stay out of it, because Ratty's over here talking to Pin Lee and is, I don't know, completely oblivious to everything, I kind of feel like. And oh, he does say that he's glad he was unconscious for their conversation about his penis, but he's Ratty is saying, he does say it was entertaining though. I forgot about that. So he was at least listening about the attachment. But Ratty is saying that if they have a kid, they should name it Sec Unit, which, first of all, who names a person Sec Unit? Second of all,
is that first and middle name or just all one name?
Yeah, or just all one name. But I like get he's like, we should honor him. But Pin Lee, they're like, when did we talk about having kids? We didn't talk about that. Like, they're totally getting a little squicked out by him, I think, to begin with, because last episode they were kind of like, if he dies, we don't have to honor the contract. They had that conversation. We don't want him to die. But yeah, he's obviously more into the relationship, I guess, than they are. I don't know about Arata. I don't think she necessarily wants to have a kid either, but that she's not even being involved in the conversation. He didn't even ask her anything. He's just kind of saying it. But yeah, it's weird, and he's weirded out by it, of course, Sec Unit. But yeah, these two conversations are going on at the same time. This, and then Labibi asks, kind of questioning, how do we know he's not going to kill us? And she does ask them about where they're from and stuff like that, and calls them amateurs, that they're thinks that their group was better at doing all that. And I don't know, do you think she's trying to be rude, or that she just, I kind of more got that she's not real smart, and
yeah, probably
just, like, she's like, oh, we call you amateur. Like, she didn't really have a reason for saying that, but she did. But that's all going on. And then meanwhile, he finds out that Garathan is going to plug himself his, we know now that we knew he had the, what do you call it? The enhancements, the augmentations, and that he's going to use it to plug into Sec Unit and look for bad code. And as he says from his show, this is the oh shit moment. I love that. I thought that was funny. So yeah, he's worried what he's going to find out, obviously, because he's afraid that he'll find the truth. But he's still saying he's glad he didn't kill most of them. He's not so sure about Labibi. Not that he dislikes her. He just doesn't. He's not sure what to think of her, I guess, yet at this point. So yeah, he finds out pretty quickly, and I did like how they played this, because the whole time you can feel the build up, and he's like, uh-oh, like he's gonna figure it out. But yeah, they know that he figured out that he hacked the government module, and that he is in complete control of himself, and that kind of freaks everybody out for a second. And Garathan has, which by the way, I don't think they before now, but suddenly they're calling him Gura, like a nickname. I don't think they did before, did they?
I don't know if I heard it that way before.
Yeah, well, that's what it said in the captions. I didn't like. I more thought it just was interesting that he suddenly has a nickname. But maybe they couldn't remember Garathan. But
or maybe the closed caption people are like, I don't understand these names.
Maybe no, because it did sometimes say Garathan, but
yeah,
I think that's what they call him, Gura. But anyway,
yeah.
he has sec unit locked so he can't move, and that way he can't do anything even if he wants to. But the only one that's really freaking out about it the most is Labibi, who knows nothing about him. Well, and also sec unit is saying, you know, that they're right to be scared. But yeah, I like this part though, where they're discussing him being not able to move, and like they're saying, you know, this is what we objected to begin with, him not being in control. But he's like, well, he's dangerous, and whatever, however you're pronouncing, Barks Watch agrees with me, and she's like, no, I don't. So I like that part. She's like, yeah, he hacked his module, but like, why would we be worried about him? He chose to save us on purpose, which is kind of the point that he's missing. You know, like he hacked it, but he's been taking care of him this whole time. And Garathan's still talking about like all the things that happened with you know, the maps and everything they had before that went wacky and not knowing what's going on, and he's blaming him. And it's kind of like, why would they do that? Because he has no reason to, and if it was the company, they'd already be dead. So there's no reason for him to have done all those things, and because he was trying to help them. And her reasoning, she's like, well, tell him what he does all day. And I did like this scene. And he admits that he watches his serials all day, his soap operas, but he doesn't believe it. He thinks he's making it up. So then Ratty's like asks him this really detailed question about Sanctuary Moon.
Do you have any photos of these?
Out. Yeah, I love that he like totally starts nerding out about the show, and they're like, he's totally watched it. They everybody except for Garathan apparently watches the show too. And
do you have a photo of this?
Sorry, I am staying there. Not
You're just like way ahead, and I'm like,
photos. There's their conversation. Sorry, yeah,
that's okay.
You see, he's still passed out there. That's where she's talking about his penis. There's the conversation about me in the bathroom. I got sidetracked. Sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to see the pretty pictures while we were talking.
Yeah, I'll go through them fairly quickly.
You know, that guy's on everything. I was just watching Twin Peaks: The Return. He's on that. And when I was watching Svengoolie, they have a little skit, and he's on that. He's the man's everywhere.
Yeah. I definitely recognized him from things. He's sort of like a character actor usually.
Yeah, yeah.
There's more flashes he's having there. That was what I meant to put up before, the that thing she uses to get the chip out of his neck. And yeah, it reminds me of virtual goggles. Like they have like gloves with them and stuff that you can.
Yeah, see, I thought you were talking about the chair before. See, these pictures help me.
Yeah, they do, and that's my fault. And he's just kind of sitting there. There's where he's connected.
There it is.
He also makes a comment too when he goes to connect. He's like, "Fuck, he looks way too into this." He does not want Garathan in his head, right? He's like, "No, I don't want that." And there's where he sees that he disabled it. And I guess these flashes that Sec Unit's seeing of potentially killing somebody in the past, Garathan is seeing as well. So that's kind of important to know. But yeah, she does not agree with him. She thinks that he's perfectly safe. There, now he's immobilized. So now we're kind of caught up. And that's where they talk. I don't think they show anything Sanctuary.
That was the first smart thing they've done.
Yeah, they should have done that a long time ago. And she's the two of them, Labibi and Garathan, are the only ones that are really freaked out at all. But he's, you know, they're all trying to convince them, hey, he saved us and he didn't have to. It wasn't forced. That's where they're talking about, I think is where they were talking about Sanctuary Moon. And they're all like, oh yeah, I remember that episode. And then, whoops,
that was the best way to do it, was to like just hit them with some deep cut about the show.
Yeah, and I guess it was like trying to trip him up, but it didn't work, and he knew more than they did. So some of these must be. Sorry, I get annoyed when the pictures get weird because I fixed these pictures. You know that I fixed it like before we started, and for some reason they are cutting them off again, and like the sides of the picture are cut off, and I lined it up before we started because you can't see Mensa. Well, you can kind of see Mensa a little bit, but I think I need to make a new frame. The frames are for 16 by 19. The problem is TV shows aren't 16 by 19 all the time, so they don't always fit exactly, and they get cropped. But yeah, he knows. He starts geeking out about the show. He knows all the deleted scenes, I guess, and all the everything about it. So that was a good. I enjoyed that. But they keep him immobilized, and he's like, that isn't going to work. And I guess whenever he says that won't work, and then he gets up and starts choking him, Garathan. I didn't actually get one of him choke. Oh yeah, I did. I take that back. It was after that. There we go. His eyes are rolling back in his head. That's creepy. Whenever he says it won't work, so was that indicating? I mean, I don't know how you felt, but I kind of took it that was indicating that he wasn't really immobilized and he was just pretending to be. Is that how you took it?
Or else he overrode something.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was talking.
Well, he just says, that he's immobilized, and he's like, that won't work. And he gets up and chokes him. I don't know. I took it like he was saying, I've been sitting here being good. I can do what I want. And I'll prove it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how I took it. You guys, our chat's quiet. You guys got to let us know what you think. Let us know your opinion. But he's like, I don't like you. But to be fair, Garathan doesn't like him either. So I get that, why he doesn't like Garathan and Garathan doesn't like him. Thanks, Muncher. It takes a bit. I got a question though, just out of curiosity, because it's just like a little thing that's driving me nuts. Do you see the little box I see? I have like this little box on the screen that says, oh, it disappeared, that said save to PC. And I don't know why it keeps popping up, or if it's on your end too, or just mine. Could anybody see that?
I don't have anything like that on my end.
Well, I don't now. It went away. I just wondered because, like, I know that you can see the mouse when I do that, but anyway, he chokes him, and he's just like, I don't like you, and they're a little shocked. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Muncher Luncher says pure nightmare fuel. This one. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I like that he's scared to Garathan. I think Garathan needed scared a little bit. Oh, you can't see the mouse either? Weird. I can see that on OBS, so I assumed you can, but that's good to know. Although when I am pointing at something, I guess it's not helpful then, is it? As I've done that before. But yeah, I like that he scared him. I think that Garathan needed scared a little bit. Don't you think? Garathan is sometimes not that he shouldn't be an ass to him, but I like that Garathan can be a smart ass, but I also like that he scared him back. I think it was funny.
Yeah.
Kimberly says, I feel like he realized whatever they did to immobilize him was wearing off. Maybe. I just assumed he was faking it, but I guess we really don't know. But it doesn't matter, really, one way or another, because he obviously can get up. But Mensa is making the point. She tells him, let him go. But then she's like, don't you guys get it? Like, he hasn't had to obey us this whole entire time. He's been saving us. Like, they have no reason to be afraid. And she's like, I want you to, I like this part though, because she's like, I want you to stay a part of our team, but you can choose what you do after this. If you want to leave, you can leave. And we won't tell anybody. She's giving him the choice to do what he wants. And he does say in his head that she said what she had to say, and that he thinks she thought that's what she had to do to be safe. But I don't believe that. I mean, I think she meant it, don't you?
Yeah, I think she's being sincere.
Yeah. And he responds in kind and is like, okay. That was his big response. So he agreed to it, but he was going to stay anyway. So sorry, guys. Again, allergies. Oh, now my mouth is going to taste like that. Sorry. But anyway, so Garathan is upset, and he's like, he makes a point of saying something like, what happened to Constance? And she's like, we'll get to it. So basically, she just made the choice unilaterally anyway. But you know, he's been protecting them, and she says that they're going to protect him back. Um, and then I don't know, I missed this part, something about the logs, that stuff might have been compromised by the outside agent, and he's decided, I think he's partially trying to distract him. He don't want to talk to them, but
Hmm.
he says that he thinks they should manually trigger the beacon, that it's time to call for help. But they do make, hey, Golden Child, they do make a point of saying that it'll take, I think, 5 days for anybody to even get there. So I'm not sure that it's even that helpful to call. They didn't, that's why they didn't end up doing it before. But yeah, they're gonna trigger it manually and try to call the company for help. I love how this whole, like, as an actor, I just wondered that these scenes were kind of hard, because this whole time, like, he's not looking at anybody, and he's really got to stay, you know, focused away from them until she starts staring at him. She says he's staring at her, and he's like, "No, you're staring at me. Quit staring at me." So yeah, she's very. I don't know if she just is attracted to him or what, but she is staring at him. And they do ask her if Deltfall tried to launch their beacon, but she really doesn't know anything. And then they go off on this tangent where she's saying about being an indentured servant again, and they say that it's disgusting, and she thinks they're insulting her as opposed to insulting the idea of it. And there's
Yeah.
kind of the whole thing, because they seem to like her. Excuse me, they don't want to upset her, but yeah. And they're a little too trusting of her, I think.
Hmm.
But she does outside. Okay, wait, that's where they're a picture of the whole cast for once. It looks like, well, I guess it is. I was gonna say it looks like a hospital gown. I guess it technically is a hospital. You can't see that part of the picture. It's cropped off. Damn it. There, that shows it better.
Well, it looks
Kelly,
like what's her name? Lee BB is wearing pajamas.
let's see, yeah, it
Her
kind of
her,
does.
her outfit looks very pajama-ish.
It kind of does. It looks kind of more like a tracksuit to me, but I guess it could be.
Yeah.
But I love that they also have even these. And you know, the other thing is Labibi's outfit has it too, but even his does. There's still that sec unit um, symbol
Hmm.
on him. So I guess the thing is I thought when they showed, I was trying to remember at the beginning of the show when they showed the different sec unit models. I thought that the newer models were dressed different than him. Did they still have that symbol? Because it's
They
interesting.
might have. It might have been just a more, streamlined version of it, because it was definitely different. But
Okay.
if we brought the picture, there'd probably be some kind of symbol in there, because I think that's, they're it's on brand for them to have that.
No, I just wondered because they are all wearing his symbol, even she is. So I guess
Yeah.
it's something with the sec units. Kelly thinks that Labibi seems suspicious. Uh,
Well, she did come out of the
Mushroom
middle of nowhere.
agrees. I'm sorry.
She did come out of the middle of nowhere.
He did come out of the middle of nowhere. How do you like their tree with all this? Are those tomatoes? I can't even tell for sure. Apples and tomatoes. They look like apples and tomatoes in the middle
Yeah,
of
it's
patch.
cool. It's like cherry
Yeah,
tomatoes and
it's cool.
all different
This,
types of tomatoes.
yeah. Um, while he's doing, it's his attempting connection. I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out what that was about. Is that Garathan trying to get in? I don't remember what the attempting connection was. I don't know. Something going. Oh, I know. He's trying to call the beacon, I think, and it's not answering. That's what that was about. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, he can't read it. Neither can Garathan. And so he says that that's bad news. And then he says that they talk about the whole thing of the beacon is like it'll send an EM pulse through a wormhole to ask for help. You know, from a science perspective, I have to question how sending an EM pulse through a wormhole is going to tell somebody you need help. An EM pulse knocks out electronic equipment. So I don't know if that was just like them spouting science stuff that they thought nobody would get, or if there's a point to that. Because do you understand that? Because I mean, that's what an EM pulse is. I don't see why an EM pulse would be a cry for help or like an alert that like knocks your power out. So I don't understand that. And I mean, I could understand if maybe putting off the beacon locked the power out like locally, because it's assuming that something bad is happening and like it's knocking out the enemy, but to knock out the power across the wormhole, yeah, I didn't get that part. So I missed something there. Kimberly says, this is why I think Labibi is sus. I feel like she might have done something to mess with the transmission. She very well might have, but I think that they're well, I guess we don't know yet about their equipment, if theirs was messed up or not. We just know that they were all dead other than her. I kind of wonder, like, if she's even from there at this point, because she said she's from Doubtfall. How do we know that she didn't, like, help kill those people and then steal their uniform, right? Like, there's no way to know that. That's what I kind of wondered when I saw this. I'm not sure. Writers didn't think we'd catch that. Maybe did see writers. Yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe agree with that. I don't know. I mean, maybe I was misunderstanding it, but to me, saying that it's going to send a pulse through the wormhole makes no sense at all. At all. I don't believe she's actually from there. Yeah, that was definitely, that's what I said. That was my thought, that maybe she's not really from there. I don't know. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think she's from there? I know we don't know yet, but. Or did you
I
not
have
really
no
think about
idea, because I feel like her main motivation is to try to make out with Murderbot.
That is a good point. That's what part of it is, anyway.
I'm not sure that that's because she can't help herself, or a part of a bigger plan.
I don't know.
Anything.
Very, I said she acts. We must be going really quick. We're like almost through the episode. It's a half an hour. She's,
well, take in mind it's probably about 20 minutes long.
No, I know, but we usually still take longer. She isn't just acting suspicious. Like, she seems like she's not, like I said, she seems like she's not smart, but I mean, somehow she survived. If she is really from there, she somehow survived what happened. So she has to have some brains, I think. I don't think it was like accidental. So yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Kimberly said, I think she might be who Sekian was speaking about when they were talking about their theories of what happened, and she is one of those people who sabotaged them. She definitely might be, and I'm assuming that you're talking about what his conversation with Mensa that he has later that we had talked about earlier during the watch party. And yeah, I definitely think that it could be foreshadowing that. It just doesn't make sense that she all of a sudden showed up when all this went down. Like, they didn't try to hail them before or anything like that. It was just all of a sudden. So it's very, very suspicious. But she is definitely, at any rate, being nosy, because she keeps, like, I noticed how, if you pay attention, like, she keeps watching them on the monitors. She starts asking Garathan if he needs help with anything. Wait, I'm trying to find where it's at. Somewhere in here. Oh, it must be after she talks to him. But anyway, she asks him if he needs help. She's kind of flirting with Garathan, who's totally not down with it. But I don't know if that was in here or that was later. But he was uncomfortable, that's for sure. I feel like something in here is mixed up in my order, because I have that they fly up in the hopper, and then I have that she's flirting with him. So yeah, I don't know, something in here is mixed up. But this is where she comes over to talk to him, and she's like, I'm sorry, I said you would murder people. And again, he just has to, like, stand there with the most stoic face. That's got to be hard, you know. I think she tries.
Especially when she's trying to make out with him.
I know, he's like, nope. He just completely ignores her. But yeah, what I was going to say, though, and this is the part that like I said, it wasn't in my notes, so I'd skipped it. She did try to flirt with Garathan too a little bit. She's like, do you need anything? I could get you things. And he's just like, no, like, he totally shuts it down right away. Which I thought
she didn't try to make out with him as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she didn't too. And then we have this conversation. I wanted to talk to you about this a bit. So Mensa is saying, oh wait, I skipped. I know what I was going to say. First, Labibi. I have something I skipped about Labibi. Let's go back to Labibi a second. She says that she's like, you do seem nice. I'm sorry I said you're going to kill us. And talks about it being hard to trust people. And you're like, why are you so close? And then when she does it, he's like, "Melt me down now." He's totally like, "Get away from me." I thought that was funny. I like that a little bit.
That's a good picture.
Uh, so yeah, I like that. But then Garathan is talking to Mensa, and Mensa is saying to him, "Oh, if I don't make it back, and that Pinley will be in command," and he's like, says something about like, "Don't say that," starts getting upset. He's going to try to analyze the data from the override, figure out what's going on, but he goes to tell her something. We don't know what, because this is when Sec Unit has really bad timing and interrupts someone like is like, "Let's go, time to leave." I don't know. What do you think? Because I was reading some of what people said. Like he clearly, we know, has an unhealthy crush on her. Um,
Yes.
I don't know. I thought she. I mean, I don't know. Not that it matters, but I thought that she was like a lot older than him. I definitely didn't see them as having going to have a relationship or anything. But he clearly likes her, and I kind of also wondered if in this moment he was going to say something like that he cared about her or he liked her or something. I don't know because Murderbot Sec Unit interrupted him. But it's kind of like poor Garathan. Everybody's either ignores him or interrupts him or doesn't listen to him because to be fair, he's always like, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea." And you see that in a lot of shows where there's always that person, always that person that is saying that something's going wrong or is going to go wrong and nobody listens to. And then that probably something's going to go wrong. And he's the voice of reason in the show. But I don't know. Do you think she's just oblivious, or do you think that she knows that he's crushing on her? I was just kind of curious your take on it.
I don't know. I think she's just doing leader stuff and doesn't really think about it.
That's fair.
Or just thinks maybe it's like more platonic affection.
Well, I don't think it is on his end. If
No, I meant on her end. Maybe she's just taking it as, concern.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that one episode when he was sniffing her pillow, that it was really creepy. It was funny, but it was really creepy.
Trying to follow her into the shower.
Yeah. In this episode, I didn't really find it creepy. I mean, I found it more like he's got a crush on her and she either is ignoring him because she doesn't feel that way, or she's oblivious to him. I mean, she is his boss. He really shouldn't be crushing on her anyway. But it didn't feel as creepy in this episode, I guess. It more was just like he's worried about her being okay and everything. And you can see that they are close. I mean, obviously it means more to him than her, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what other people think because it's a weird relationship that they have, and he obviously seems to be in love with her, but we don't really get much on it because he's like, "Time to leave." So yeah, they go. Actually, I know what I screwed up when I was talking about the order. This is where she flirts with Garathan. I thought it was before they left. That was why she waited till Mensa left. And I wonder if she purposely waited till Mensa left. I was going to say maybe she had their clothes, but she did wear that outfit there, so it had to be all have similar. But yeah, in this space, she's flirting with him, and he did shut it down. But I also, when I saw this the first time, kind of wondered if he didn't realize she was flirting with him, like whether he was
this is awkward. That awkward.
Yeah, like I don't think he would be down for it anyway. I don't think he likes her, but I feel like he's so awkward he didn't even know that's what she was doing because he's just like, "No, I don't need your help. Go away."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that was funny, but yeah, she's trying. But I also think that she's being very nosy. I think she's trying to find out what's going on, and that is why she's
through awkward seduction techniques.
It's clearly not working to her favor, but I think that's where they're at trying to do. But he's not having it. And then meanwhile, so they're going to manually send off this beacon, right? And he goes in the hopper with Mensa, just them. And Mensa spends the time talking about her family, about her kids. And he makes this comment about like, humans want to talk about their kids, whether you ask them or not. Not fair. I'm guessing he's probably watching. even though he doesn't say that, though he's probably watching his shows. Wait, oh, that reminds me too. I don't think I mentioned earlier, like whenever they do talk about him watching Sanctuary Moon, I think Garathan said something like, "How could he watch that much without us noticing?" Because he
Guess
clearly
what?
doesn't talk to you and you don't pay enough attention. I thought that was, yeah, he watches it a lot, but he does. This is where they have their conversation, and this is what Kimberly was talking about. That that Mensa says if the company didn't send those people to kill, or didn't send the robot, whatever, didn't send them to kill Deltfall, then there has to be somebody else there. Like could there be a third party that's involved that was trying to kill them? And kind of asking what's going on. And she's like, if it was, why would they let them in? And this is where he says, he does tell her that, the company is not going to be killing people because dead clients is not good for them. So he doesn't believe it's the company, but he does think that there could be a third party on the planet that people are willing to conceal. And he says, because humans are greedy bastards. I like that. And she's like, you have no argument from me. Like, that's just the human race, right? I did like that. But this is where he's going back and forth, and he says something like that this he's never done this before. Like, this is like the kind of conversations they have on Sanctuary Moon when they talk back and forth. And then they start saying that this is where she says, there was no sign of fourth century. So if they didn't know these people, if these bad people showed up, why would they just let them in? Because the door wasn't even locked at the time. And he is actually, I think, here really insightful. And he's like, well, you would do it. Like, she doesn't get it and doesn't seem to see it. And he's like, well, you did the same thing. You would. If those scientists came here asking for your help, you would let them in right away. Mm-hmm. And this is where, when we were watching this, I know in the watch party that Kimberly said, which I hadn't even thought of, like, that's what they did. They let that mm-hmm. woman in. And yep. I think that's probably foreshadowing that this wasn't a good thing. This show isn't very subtle with a lot of it, but which is okay. But yeah, he's like, you would have done the same thing. You did do the same thing. And so they have the idea that probably what happened is that the bad people, whoever they were, told Deltfall that they were them and said that they needed help or something like that, so that mm-hmm. they would let them in their place, and that was how they got them, and they would just do it without question. And she says that it must be naive for him that people can be frustrated, or must be frustrating for him that humans can be so naive. And I think that is the point. Like, it would be so obvious, but sometimes, people try to be too helpful, which can be a problem. But that's kind of what they come up with, their idea. And then he's going to try to communicate with the beacon that's where she's talking about her kids. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to communicate with the beacon from where they're at. And he's like, don't go any closer, just stay there. And there's the outside place there. He pulls up the schematics, and system error, he cannot contact it. So she starts saying she wants to talk to him about him choking Garathan, and asks him if he's hurt anybody before. Now, we know he keeps having these flashes about maybe killing people. So I think we're supposed to assume that he maybe did hurt people, and he just doesn't have memory of it. But he doesn't. She thinks he just doesn't want to talk about it because he's like, distracted from what she's saying. But he's like, no. He's like, turn around now, because he sees what is about to happen. They mm-hmm. were going closer to this beacon. That was the whole plan. And it explodes, and they start to fly away. We don't really see what happens. It looks like they get caught in the blast, at least partially. So yeah, boom.
So I call it a cliffhanger.
Yes, it's a cliffhanger. They're on the cliff too, I think. But yeah, I think that whatever happened, I assume that it was sabotage, and that the whole thing was planned because they were going here to do this. So yeah, I don't know. But that would be my guess. I mean, they couldn't set it off. Like normally they would have set it off remotely, but they couldn't. And it's kind of interesting they couldn't. And that's what, what led to this. Now, obviously Sec Unit isn't dead or there wouldn't be a show. I don't think she's dead.
He might die.
Yeah, he's got plot, but
Murderbot
he's
might
also not
die.
human. He's also not human, so he can't exactly die. But yeah,
I just remember
when
Severance was on and everybody's like, Mark S might die.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think that. Sorry, I was reading something else here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that Mence is really in danger either. I mean, it was a cliffhanger, but I mean, I guess they could kill her. Really, these people, we don't know how much they're, this could be just the beginning of the story or whatever. We don't know if they're going to keep the same group the whole time, but I kind of assumed that she would be okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I kind of also assume.
Okay.
It's just a cliffhanger and then they'll just get out of there. It's just the next episode starts.
Yeah, get out of there before it explodes. But at least he has a couple seconds to warn them. I guess you could say he's like, get out of there now. It's coming. So yeah, I'm gonna put it back on his face. So at least we have a nice looking picture while we're talking over it. So it's not just an explosion the whole time.
They're getting better at like listening to him.
They are.
The explosion helped.
Yeah, I still think that ship still, even though it really doesn't look like it, it still reminds me of a Firefly ship. I don't know why. I think it's the way the thrusters are.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. But yeah, I don't know. Other thoughts? I've talked a lot. You haven't talked a lot. I'm trying to get you to
It's
talk.
Because I have a throat thing going on, and I'm not like my throat hurts when I talk, and I've been having coughing fits, and I've had to turn off my mic several times during this time.
Okay, well, I hope your throat feels better. I'm not.
That's fine. It was more the coughing fits being kind of a nuisance.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure I give you a chance to talk.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
And I think I know we don't want to quit quite. Yeah, that's why I said it's only been like 47 minutes. We've been really short today. I'm trying to think of other things to say. I am, like I said, I think everybody agrees that the BB is suspicious. Also, her name is hilarious, but I think that everybody agrees that she's suspicious. I am curious,
or where she like is from, and then it was like, oh, that sounds beautiful. It was like, where was she from?
I don't know. She was an indentured servant, she said, but I just...
Yeah, but it was something with a bunch of letters and numbers, like,
Oh, the thing I said were lost numbers. It was 15, 15, 23, I think, or something. Yeah, 15, 15, 23. I only remembered that because they're lost numbers. Yeah. So I think she's very suspicious. I think that she's not as stupid as she's acting. Because it definitely seems to me like she's sucking up to everybody. Like first she's talking to Arata, and I mean, not that she was flirting with her or anything, but they were just having this conversation, and she was like asking her so many questions and was really interested in her. And then, suddenly she's flirting with Sec Unit, and then she's flirting with Garathan, and she's looking over his shoulder at the computer. At least it looked like it to me. So I really think that she's trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, maybe she's just nosy. Maybe she wants to make sure he's safe. I don't know. But it just seems to me like, number one, I don't think she's as stupid as she's acting. I think she's pretending to be stupid. I got that opinion from the beginning. Because like I said, she survived that massacre. Nobody questions the fact that she survived the massacre. She doesn't look hurt very bad. She just shows up and they all take her in. And I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't even from Deltfall. But I did like I said earlier, I did like Kimberly's thing that like she brought up. I hadn't even thought about that is doing exactly what Sec Unit said they would do, which got the other people, or they think they did, that got the other people killed, and they did the same damn thing. So like I said, this show isn't super subtle, which is okay. It doesn't have to be. But to me, that's a big no-no and is pointing towards it not going well pretty soon. So yeah, I'm curious, and it is strange she came in at the end of the show like she did too. That we didn't see her, and then all of a sudden she's there. Um, so yeah. Now, what else? What do you think?
So what do you think she was she was part of that explosion?
I think she might be, yeah, or she knows who did it. I definitely think she knows something. I don't know that she would have. I don't know how she would have triggered the explosion unless, like, maybe she put a bomb on it or something before they got there. I guess it's possible. But she definitely, I feel like, knows something or wants something, one or the other, besides his pee pee.
It's horrible.
Besides that. I
Horrible.
thought that was so funny. Like, that's what me was what was the funniest part of that scene. Like, it wasn't even that she was talking about his detachable penis he might have. It was the
Yeah.
fact that she talks about it like a little kid. He calls it a
Uh-huh.
pee-pee. I thought that was
Well, I
so
thought
funny.
maybe that's like because she was just brought up like in a colony or whatever.
Maybe. I think she was also
Maybe
supposed to
that's they're just kind of like immature.
it was. It just was funny. And then they're just like, she's like, you probably haven't thought about that. Maybe you have. Maybe the girl is just really lonely. And that's what she
Maybe
automatically thinks.
just wants to
And
make
like
friends.
I said, I mean, to be fair, Sec Unit is very hot, whether he's an android or not. So
Whether he's a Ken doll or not.
yeah, I can't fault her there. If he has a detachable penis, that may not. But yeah, I definitely am not done with that. But I want to know what people think about Grathan and Mensa. That's my big question. Like, I want to know what you guys
Mhm.
think about their weird relationship.
Maybe
And
he likes cougars. Likes
maybe.
to cougar it
Well,
up,
yeah,
but cougars are kind of more aggressive. Like a what's a more subtle
generally,
version
yeah,
of a cougar?
that is true.
Like a
But yeah,
cheetah.
I do want to know, like, I'm just curious too, like, if people think she's aware, because I'm sometimes honestly not sure. Like, one minute I think that she's just like ignoring him because she doesn't like him that way. But then the next second I'm like, does she even know he's crushing on her? I'm just honestly not sure. And he was going to tell her. And I think he was, I don't know. Second unit stopped him. I think probably second unit would have stopped him anyway, just because he doesn't want to see the drama, which I think is hilarious that, like, he comments on all these things like, ew, I don't want to know this. I want to go whatever. And like, he watches these soap operas. Like, why is he not enjoying the human soap opera? You would think that he would be interested in the soap opera of their lives, but apparently is not. Um, but yeah, so I'm just kind of curious what
Yeah,
other
but
people.
sometimes he is, depending on the conversation he has. Like
Yeah,
he'll be
sometimes.
like, oh, "Okay, this is good." Maybe it'll slowly become that way. Maybe the show will be done as it gets more, more suspense and more danger.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. I would like to see him become involved in their soap opera. And I also would like to see another show, because like we saw, obviously we sang Sanctuary Moon all the time, but last time, I don't know if it was last time or the time before, we got that other show he watches, which now I'm not going to remember the name of. I don't know if you do or not, but that other sci-fi show he was watching.
Oh
And I guess
yeah, the one with
technically you're
the
not.
half a woman. It was like a half
Yeah,
of a woman.
I would like to see yeah, I would like to see like other pieces of shows. I think that's funny, but I keep calling them sci-fi soap operas, and I have to think, like, they're not actually sci-fi to them because they live in the sci-fi world. So I probably shouldn't say sci-fi soap operas; they're soap operas. After Dark stream, yeah, this is our After Dark stream talking
About
about
PBs.
penises. He looks so sad. He's sentient. I'd say he's sentient. I'm not sure what that was in response to. This was right before the explosion, so I'm not sure what you mean. He looks sad about. Yeah, I'm curious what you're referring to, Muncher. Let's see. Kimberly says, I feel like Grathan and I'm assuming that's supposed to be Grathan, and Sec Unit have a weird attachment to Menza, and I don't think she realizes. I think she's just motherly and tender, which is part of her appeal.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
I agree. I don't, like I said, I kind of go back and forth about whether I think she knows or not. I mean, she did shut him down when he tried to follow her into the shower. Like, no, that's not happening, which was funny. Doc, I am glad that you finished it. And I hope that you liked the show. I know before you hadn't seen it, but thank you again for coming. And okay. So you mean I'm reading what I'm trying to figure out what Kimberly means. I guess she means that that about his attachment to Mensa that he's showing in that picture. I guess I don't know. I thought he looked kind of bored. If I'm honest, I thought he was just kind of like I'm annoyed and trying to figure out about the thing that is going to blow up. This is right before he figures that out. But yeah, I don't know. I just we don't get very much of them. It's such a short show. I'm interested in the interpersonal relationships just because I want to see, I guess, more of that. Like not more necessarily more of that, but I want to see more of the show, and it would be interesting to see more of what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to audiobooks yet, but I'll probably try to listen to one tomorrow because I wonder if there isn't a lot of backstory, or maybe there's backstory in the books that isn't here because this is kind of quick.
Maybe, but it's a novella, so it's hard to tell. It's not that long to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
Woman is both suspicious and thirsty for Murderbot. I agree. I still question though, like that they call and I'm just, this isn't on you. I'm just in general that they call that he like it's Murderbot. I guess it's Murderbot because he made up that name, but nobody calls him Murderbot in the show, which is funny.
He calls himself that.
He calls himself
takes his identity into his hands. Yeah, and maybe it's because of that 7 seconds of footage where he's killing people. Is that where he got it from?
Yeah, he seems to, I guess, think that maybe he killed people. I'm assuming that pretty soon we're going to see something about that footage and what it means. And I know Grathan saw part of it. At least I took it that whenever he was seeing it, the Grathan was seeing what he saw. Didn't you take it that way? He was connected to him, so I have to assume that that's my guess. But yep.
But he saw all the soap opera stuff, but not like the 7 seconds. 7 seconds.
Oh, that's loop. True. Yeah, well, I figure he's seen the loop too. He probably just doesn't know what it is. I mean, he did say something in another episode to him about you need to find that out what happened, that they need to. So, or he wants them to. So yeah, I think that that's coming up pretty like at some point we're going to have to find out about that because they keep showing it. I don't know, what else do you think that's coming other than the ending of the cliffhanger of what happened with the explosion? What do you have any other predictions of what you think we're going to see next week? Maybe
I have no idea. So maybe I don't know. Maybe what's her name? Now I'm getting all confused. Lee BB. Maybe she'll show her true colors in the next episode. Yeah,
she might. This is the end of the first half, so we're halfway through. Mm-hmm. Took her a while to get in there. Yeah, I'm curious if there. I mean, I guess there probably isn't because it is short episodes, but like I think that this plot line is probably the main. I know, like I'm wondering if there's going to be more after this whole thing is solved, but probably not, just because it's short. Which also makes me wonder if they will have a second season. I mean, there are other books. I would think that as much as this is probably an expensive show for Apple, it's not. I wouldn't think it would be a huge time commitment just because there's not. It's a short
it's not long show. hour long episodes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think that there would be that much of a commitment to the people, to the actors, to the producers, and that. I mean, I don't know. It takes a lot of time to make TV, and I know there's a lot of special effects and things like that, but like the actual filming, I would think would be not a huge undertaking since the whole show is only 5 hours. I mean, it's like a mini series. Very like a mini. I mean, they could have done like I kind of wish they would have like they could have done like 3 episodes that were like the whole thing. Do like 3 2-hour episodes or something like that, even instead of I that is my one I think complaint about this is I think it's too short. I think we don't get enough backstory on the people because it's short. But it also, I mean, it does work being short. There's a lot of shows that wouldn't work being short, so it doesn't bother me per se. I just would like more, if I'm honest. I think that we could have a little bit more. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's thing is magnet to it. It's just bugging me because it's crooked. I'm trying to. When they're talking, so people can just ignore the fact the photo's moving. I was trying to, it's lined up a little bit better now. Yeah. Either way, I get the BB's attraction, but I don't know that I buy it. I'm just thinking I'm thinking that as I'm looking at him there, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't buy it at all. But but they do probably put, like I said, they do, I'm sure, put a lot of money into the special effects on this show, but I wouldn't think it would be a super huge commitment to film, but I don't know. Let's see. Doc says Murderbot falls under my four M's, or for short, monsters, magic, mechas, and men. True. I don't know that I see magic. Maybe science magic. If you call like the science fiction part of it magic, maybe.
That sounds
But
more like the librarians.
it does actually. It does. Well, maybe not mechas. I don't know that there's mechs in librarians, at least not yet. But yeah, I mean it's fun. It's not. It's also not a big commitment to watch either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
Mhm.
do have to pay attention, but it's short, so you don't have to put a lot of time into it. I mean, look, it's a half an hour, and we made our show, if we're continuing to talk about it like now, like it took us an hour to
Yes.
talk about it.
But it's not
So
even a half hour. It's like 22 minutes, 23
yeah,
minutes.
so
And that includes title sequence, which is pretty long, and the credit
yeah,
sequence, which is
right.
pretty, yeah.
So well, I don't know. I wasn't counting the credits, but yeah, I guess the credits maybe add a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I mean it takes us about twice as long as the episode to talk about it. So clearly there's not a lot of deep stuff, but
Mhm.
um it's still
And,
it's still
and I'll
enjoyable.
try to make the commitment and plunge to listen to the audiobook because I've
Yeah.
just been real busy and now I'm a little less busy. So,
Yeah, I haven't. I would like to if I had time.
yeah.
That's a good point. He means mechas like robots. Well, when you say mecha or mechs, I'm
Yeah.
thinking like mechs. But yes, it definitely hits the sexy men thing. I would.
Even without a PP doc.
Yeah, you came in late. I think you missed our detachable penis conversation, Doc. I
I mean, if you
don't know.
have a suck unit, you can just buy like a
Maybe.
attachment set.
Maybe. But see, the thing is they're all got different faces, so I'm not sure that it really benefits us in being sexy. Sorry, we're getting off topic, but yeah, I still think it's interesting that they all have faces and that they're all different. And I know that they kind of made a joke about it, but that's why I said I wonder that it's just all the robots are probably made in the same place, and they say you're going to security, you're going to sex bot, you're going to housemaid, I don't know, whatever. And he just happens to be the one that went to security because he's, I don't know, got muscles. I don't know. I'm just saying. Uh, yeah, we get attachment with you. Oh, Doc, yeah. I do think that that was a funny part of the episode, though. Her talk about it, that and his oh shit. I would like to know too if it really was wearing off when he had him immobile, or if he was faking it though. Because like I said, I tend to think he was faking it, and he's just like, it's not working. See, I can attack you if I want to, but I didn't want to. Now I do. Because yeah, he could kill them all very easily if he wanted to, which is funny. But he'd rather watch his dramas. Um, and I like that they've all watched these shows. The other ones seem to enjoy the soap operas as well, except for Grathan. Grathan's too serious. He doesn't watch the soap operas. But whoops, wrong web page. I'm reloading to see. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to add? I think I'm about out of Murderbot stuff. We can go. I know we have to go an hour, but I'm about out of comments on the episode. I'm trying to think of what else to say. Uh, it might be cute to have them see them have a TV night watching the shows. I would like that. I'd like to see them all sit down watching it. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
that'd
how
be
we end the
cool.
episode, or not the episode, the season. They should have them all sit down watching Sanctuary Moon with him.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be funny. But I don't know what else. Anything
Right.
else you foresee happening, or any comment anybody else has?
I
I
am not sure because I gotta check out the audiobook because I mean I don't know. I mean anything could really happen.
You're right. It can.
Through the art of TV magic.
Yeah, no, you're
Or
right.
science
I
magic.
always I always mean to, and I always forget. Like I should, when we do this, I should always copy the StreamYard link in case anybody wants to call in. I mean, I know we're kind of wrapping up, but if anybody does want to
Yeah,
give your
maybe you guys
opinion,
have thoughts. It's the
please let
time to
us know.
share them. Share your
I can't
Murderbot
put,
thoughts.
I can't put your picture in a frame if you call, just because I didn't think about it.
You'll just
And
be a
like,
visible body, but we'll know you're there.
well, no, I don't know how to do a second video unless you're connected to something else. I mean, people could definitely call in, just you won't show on the screen, is what I'm saying, if you do that. Unless we take the pretty overlay off. I hadn't really thought that through, but people are welcome to let us know your thoughts, or either that, or let us know your thoughts in the comment of the video outside of the chat, please, if you have comments later. And for those of you that are watching at NDB Media, please make sure that you do take a minute to subscribe to our channel at Sci-Fi-Vision, because sometimes we can't fit stuff on the schedule for NDB Media. So we do sometimes have shows outside of it, or at least we did a couple times. And, you know, if you're on Sci-Fi-Vision, then check out NDB Media too, our sister network. And yeah, like I said before, make sure you guys check out our video tab too for our interviews. I've been uploading them. I finally got my tech issues with DaVinci fixed. I was so mad. You know, this is completely off topic, but since people seem to like the off topic stuff that makes no sense to me, I will tell my story. I spent 3 days editing a video that should have taken me 20 minutes because I've been using, for anybody who cares, that you probably don't, but if anybody cares, I've been trying to learn to use DaVinci because I wanted to get a better video editing program. And as much as I love doing it on my iPad, there's not a lot. You're very limited. So I started using DaVinci because for the most part, unless you need special things, it's free. And I've been spending like probably a week or whatever watching videos and figuring it out. I did the first video. I did the Murderbot one. I forget which I think it was the second Murderbot one I did. I did it through the computer and it was really easy. It was great. I was happy. Then I stuck in the Librarians one and I started having issues and it kept like flickering. And I didn't even realize when I put the video up, it has a little bit of flickering, I think, in it. So I apologize for that. I didn't know it until I uploaded it. But it kept getting errors every time I played it. And then by the time I got to the Resident Alien interview, it was like every few seconds it was flickering and I was going nuts. And I spent like 3 days, instead of actually editing the video I should have just given up and moved on to editing it elsewhere. But instead of doing that, because I don't want to give up and it was pissing me off, I researched, found out that here the program does not like the codec, at least the free version, for that Zoom uses. So like the Murderbot files I got were sent from the network. They weren't Zoom files. And that was why it was fine. But now I know that every single file I have that's Zoom files is going to have this issue unless I either A, pay $300, which I'm not going to do just to fix that issue, or B, I have to convert them all before I put them in, which is fine. But they make them like you either have to compress them and they're still like 3 times as big, or you compress them or don't compress them and they're humongous. So anyway, I figured out the issue, but it was like I took all that time and then I found out at the very end it was the file and it wasn't the program and it wasn't me. It was that the people who wrote the program never fixed that because they're dumb. So there, that's my personal comment for the day. I just felt like complaining about this at somebody because I was so upset. I mean, I was up till like 6 o'clock trying to fix the damn thing. It took me 3 days. And then I'm like, it's the file. It's Zoom. It's got to be. So yeah, Zoom should not compress with the file they use, or either that or DaVinci needs to know. People use Zoom. But I guess most people that use the program don't use it for Zoom videos, so they don't care is pretty much the answer to that. But at any rate, for people who follow our other shows, the Dean Devlin interview for Librarians I had put up, and I did finally get the text version of that up as well. But that's why these ones were late. And I put up Resident Alien as well. So if you haven't checked out the videos, make sure you do. And there is more. I still have another Murderbot one, and more for Better Sister, more for Resident Alien, got Revival coming, another Librarians one. Yes, Doc, it was really making me mad. And the thing is I just kind of accidentally found the answer because I saw something about the compression and it hit me that the video that didn't work was Zoom and everything else was fine. because I couldn't figure out why it was working perfectly before. And then I'm like, oh, that's why. Because whenever we do certain interviews, long story short, we get sent files, like they record them with a camcorder or whatever. At least I assume that's how they do it. They're not output directly from Zoom. So it was my files that weren't working. And once I converted it, problem went away. I just didn't like that you had to compress it. But it's like going from a file that was like 99 megabytes, unless I wanted to make it like 15 gigabytes, I had to let it be compressed a little bit. Zelda, insist on trying to jump and climb all kinds of places that one's supposed to try. Yeah, I see. I'm not like that on video games, though. I get too mad at video games. That's, well, hey, I've said how many times on the show, this is why I haven't finished Last of Us. There's another, I can't even remember now what it was. I was looking at something earlier and I saw another video game and I'm like, I didn't finish that because I got stuck. That seems to be my MO with video games. I get stuck and I give up for a while. And then I come back to them like a year later because I'm like, oh, hey, I never finished this. And hopefully by that point I've gotten better. But yeah.
Yeah, I was just chugging along with Blueprints.
Yeah, I still have to play that. I did see it.
Yeah, I got into Dare mode. There was a thing that you have this piggy bank and you keep putting money in it, and I thought, okay, I can break the piggy bank so I can buy all the stuff. And then when I bought something, I had to buy something else that was 100 more coins, and they didn't tell me, and I went online to read, and other people are mad that they didn't know they needed 100 extra coins.
Yeah, it can get annoying sometimes.
And you can only break the piggy bank once because you can't, it won't reset.
Well, yeah, that's even more annoying when you can't undo something. I'm like crazy with save points, and then sometimes you get to, oh, I know what it was. I saw that Alone in the Dark is out on PlayStation free now. It's like one of the free monthly ones because I have the subscription.
Yeah, my boyfriend's playing that.
It's fun, and I was like, damn it, I paid $70 for that game. And then I'm like, well, yeah, but that was a year ago, and I didn't finish it because I got stuck. That was why I remembered that. That was my comment earlier today. I'm like, well, it's your own fault for not finishing it because I bought it like not even this Christmas. Last Christmas I bought it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's your fault for not finishing it. I'm like, in the library, interesting enough, it's like a library, and I think I kept getting exploded. I can't even remember, but it is a fun game. I want to find out some of the rules about what you're allowed to post and what you're not on video games. I know YouTube has more rules than Twitch, but I've thought before, like, it would be kind of interesting, and I wonder if people would be interested in doing it, like getting a game, like, and I don't know, maybe people already do it. I have no idea, but I think it'd be fun to do something like Life is Strange. That's like one where you have to pick what to do and do it as like a live stream.
You have to pick up what you want to do in Blueprints too when you draft rooms. You would have a choice of 3, and then we could ask the chat which one they would like to draft.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. Like, I wonder if it'd be fun playing a game like that and having the chat decide what choices you make. Because you could even decide to like make really awful choices on purpose. Although I will say with the new Life is Strange, which I did finally start, you don't have rewind ability to undo your choices, so you kind of get screwed if you make the wrong choice. Has anyone ever seen Dark Place Hospital?
It's my favorite show ever, Doc. It's my favorite show.
That?
It is my favorite show. I don't know where he found it, but that is one of my favorite shows. Definitely top 5.
Okay, wait. I'm looking up what it is because I have no clue what the show is. I've never heard of it.
Have you ever seen IT Crowd? Have you seen anything with Matt Berry in it?
Is it called IT? You mean I think if you mean the one I think you mean, yes. But wait, it's not popping up anything for Dark Place Hospital. Yes, I loved IT.
It's kind of a parody of Stephen King.
Okay,
in a roundabout way.
That'd be cool. No, I do like IT Crowd. I thought that was funny. It's kind of like how I think why I like Big Bang Theory and a lot of people don't. I'm a nerd, so like I get all the computer jokes and everything. So I like, that's why I like IT Crowd. Which reminds me, what's his face? What's his name? Richard Iotti. He's doing. I seen him in advertisement, but some press for something. He's doing something with somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, he directed a couple indie movies too.
He's funny. But
Dark Place Hospital is only 6 episodes long, so you could just watch it on a watch party. It wouldn't take really that long to watch.
Yeah, that
And
would be cool. That sounds good. I'd be fine with that. But
it's just a
I
parody of like hospital, like a Stephen King hospital thing. You can see a boom mic sometimes. They have really, it's supposed to be comedic but horrific.
that might be cool. Yeah, it might be cool. But I was going to say though, I seen before Richard Ayoade on Graham Norton. He wrote this
Yeah.
book, and there was like this whole thing where I can't remember. Like the book was like written by character or something, and he wrote.
Oh, Garth
He actually
Marenghi.
like wrote. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but the point is the person in the book wrote books, and like he actually wrote each of the books by this fake character. Like he actually
Well,
wrote
there's
all the
Garth
books for it.
Marenghi, that's the main author of Dark Place, and he also did like they also did like kind of a character theater show with him playing that character.
Interesting.
And then he also says he has lines that he's been known to write more. He's been known as a writer who's written more books than he's read. That's a sense of humor level.
I was going to say I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in checking it out. If I mean,
It's interesting. It's on
time
Peacock.
from a
For the
watch
longest time, I could only watch it on YouTube because I couldn't find it anywhere because they never had an American US release of the DVD. Kind of like the show
party.
Year of the Rabbit's the same thing, but trying to find Year of the Rabbit, finally found some place I could watch it. Because they'll go on BritBox for like a blip and then they're gone, or they'll be on Netflix for like a couple months and then they're gone.
Yeah, BritBox is all the good things. Do I watch horror, Doc? Yes and no. I watch sci-fi horror. There's some kinds of horror I will watch. Sometimes I don't. Some kinds I don't like. I tend to not watch like some slasher stuff, and I don't watch. I hate torture porn. I won't watch something anymore
Yeah.
like Saw or anything like that, or Hoss. So I won't watch that kind of stuff. But some horror stuff, yes. Speaking of, I don't know how horror it is, but the Institute, Stephen King, that comes out on the 13th.
So seriously, I'm going to watch all of Dark Place right now when I get off of this live.
Okay, yeah, go watch, enjoy.
It's so good, Jamie. So good.
Watch it, or if I have time, maybe we can have a watch party or something. That would be cool. But the Institute, I think is going to be so good. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see it. But I know we talked about we'll do a show.
There was another show called Institute, so I had to look it up because I was like,
yeah, no, this
talking
is
about the other
a Stephen King thing that's on MGM. That's with what. I am like seriously losing my brain. I mean, I always say that, but I feel like it all the time. I'm trying to think of his name and I'm blanking.
Ben Barnes?
No, not Ben Barnes. The guy from I'm losing my mind. Jack Bender.
Oh,
no. What is my name? What is my I don't know. I'm losing him.
There's a lot of guys I'm from. I don't know.
No, I couldn't think of the name Jack Bender, and I don't know why. I was like,
Jack Bender,
talked to Jack Bender, and I just like went blank all of a sudden. But I was going to say, I think the show is going to be really good, and I know we're going to talk about it. We said we probably would do Sunday right after it's on, and I'm definitely having a watch party when it drops, people. So make sure you tune in. But I think it's going to be really good. It sounds like it's going to be the kind of thing that if you like From, you'll like. So hopefully it will be. And
you
I
like
know
Ben Barnes. If you're a Ben Barnes fan.
Barnes is hot. Yeah, Ben Barnes is hot, so that's good too. I don't really know a lot about it other than, Stephen King, and also Brad Turner's directing it too. I know him from Helix, but that's about as much as I know about it. But it looks really good. I think we'll all like it. So, but yeah, definitely do a live watch party, right? And then we're probably going to do the dive right after it's done on Sunday nights. And I know Karen and AJ want to do a review show too, but that will just be like a short review thing like we did for Last of Us. And then me and you will do the diving because they don't enjoy that. But I'm excited to talk about it. I hope it, like I said, I mean, I hope it's good. I'm saying that we might all hate it. Who knows? But it sounds like it's going to be really good. So that'll be fun. And at least it's something new coming on. I feel like we're all waiting for something else, But yeah, we'll have to try Dark Place. I mean, I would be totally down for it. I just have to have time to do a watch party for it. I will say I am even more. I always say I'm behind, but I'm like even more behind than was because I spent 3 days trying to edit that video. So now I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to catch up and, trying to watch screeners and do interviews and everything else. And yeah, I made myself get more behind because I was busy trying to fix it. But
yeah, there was another. There, one the actress, Alice Lowe, I think her name is, from Dark Place. She has a movie called Revenge, where she's a pregnant woman that's seeking revenge.
I know what that is. I have not seen it, but what I have seen.
Apparently, they have an American DVD of it. They didn't for a really long time, and there was no place online I could watch it.
Well,
and I'm a big fan of hers. I like all the movies she's been in. I like her aesthetic.
I haven't seen that, but I do know she was really pregnant when she did it. I know that. But have you seen Time Stalker? That's why I'm asking, because I covered Time
Stalker. I have
Stalker.
not, and I want to.
Yeah, watch it.
I'm getting it for the library.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had watched that when I covered it, when I interviewed Jacob Anderson about it. We did actually a really long interview on that.
I didn't know he was in it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about Interview with a Vampire. We talked about Doctor Who. We talked a little bit about Game of Thrones. That's so if you guys haven't watched that interview, head over to the video tab, because it was I think a half an hour interview. It's not on video though. I wasn't allowed to record the video, but it's audio. But it's still on YouTube because I put a picture up so I could at least use the audio, because it was a fun one. I don't know. He made me laugh so much. I didn't realize he was so funny, but I don't know. Certain people you kind of get along with good in interviews, and you can talk really easy, and he was really easy to talk to, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's why I know about that. He really liked that movie, and he was saying how she was really pregnant when she filmed it and everything. So but yeah, the movie I saw was Time Stalker, which is it was interesting. It was different. It's a time travel one, and she keeps dying each time. You have to watch it. It's hard to explain, but it's like a little indie movie.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like.
Yeah, I know. I don't always. Usually, if I watch something like that, it's because I'm watching it because I'm covering it. But
but Dark Place is special. We've got to do a watch party for Dark Place. It's something else.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to get time and try it. There's a lot of things I'd like to have watch parties for. We still have to do a wake. I went and bought it that day. We watched the premiere and then never watched the rest of it. I mean, I've seen it before that, but we never watched it in the watch party after I bought it. Because I bought it specifically so we could all watch it, and then we didn't have time to watch it. We didn't finish it. We watched 2 episodes. Yeah, and Jason Isaacs, so it's all good. That's the bonus part of that. No, but he's a good actor, and I do really like that show. I've said before, I want to do an OA watch party, because I've never actually watched it along with fans. I mean, I've talked to fans about it after the fact. Yeah. But because I had sort of been in that community when it was on, but I'd like to watch it with people that like it and enjoy it, and that's such a fun show. I would love to do lives about that. I just don't know if people would care because it's been so long. But I did hear on something, I don't know what the interview was on. Something Jason did, he was talking about saying that, they still want to make a sequel. I kind of wonder if at some point something is going to be made, even if it's in a book or something, because I know that
there was talks about graphic novel, kind of like those Buffy season. That came out.
Well, I know even I had asked him about it, but it was a couple years ago when I asked him about it. They're still talking about it, so I know he had made it sound like, at least in this interview, had made it sound like Zal and Britt were talking about it. So yeah, if you have not seen the OA, watch it. It's a really, really, really good show.
And it ended really crazy, and it needs to,
it ended so
explain itself
in a good way. It was in a good way crazy though. Still, I mean,
it was yourself.
It was shit in the sense that it was a cliffhanger, but I mean, it was a crazy cliffhanger. It was good.
Yes.
Even though some shows, when you say, "Oh, it was canceled," it's not worth watching because you don't get to see
it's worth watching.
It's worth watching, even though it's totally worth watching. I mean, I've seen it multiple times. And yeah, Britt Marling's awesome. Their other show too, that Murder, what was it called? Murder at the End of the Road?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I want to see it.
That's pretty good too. It is not as twisty sci-fi though. It's not a deep
So you've seen like Sound of My Voice and those other films, like
I have
Another Earth
not.
and
At the time when I wanted to
I
see it, I couldn't
Origins.
find it. And then I went to get it and I found it somewhere and then I forgot about it and never watched it. I need to because I've so far have liked her stuff and I mean I love the
Yeah.
OA. Yes, you need to finish it, Doc. You do. That's why I said
Sound of
these are
My
things you
Voice is really good. I like The East is really good. All of it's really good. I
there's
Origins
also
really good.
Another Earth. There's a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you, I feel like if you like From, that would be. I mean, not that it's like it's not horror like From, but I feel like if
Mhm.
you like From and like diving into From, I think that like you would like that because I feel like the people who are obsessed with From are those kind of people who like the crazy deep dive, and you can't
Mhm.
watch the OA without helping, but like dissecting it. It's hard
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Uh-huh.
It's just that kind of show. Yeah, maybe we should do a rewatch live stream. I just don't know if people would be down for that. Um, yeah, the one with the cult was Sound of My Voice.
Yeah.
So
Another Earth is where there's lowly another Earth.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty easy to. Excuse me, sorry.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin. But yeah, they're good. They're good shows. But yeah, we need to. What we should probably do maybe, and then we would like. I would be able to schedule the time if I know ahead of time. Like we should pick like a day. Like everybody put in like the suggestion thing on Discord in my Discord. Like put on what kind of things you want to watch. We should and what day works. Like we should pick a day and have like a movie night every week or whatever
Mhm.
night every week and like pick one thing to watch every week that's whatever we all decide on. We can vote on it. That would
Mhm.
be fun. I need to start using Discord more. No, not many
Yeah.
people don't usually don't really post in my Discord. To be fair,
Mhm.
I don't really post in my Discord, but like I never know what to post because people aren't having a conversation. Like if people are having conversations, I would, but post in Discord. It almost felt like it was connected to OA. You mean Sound of My Voice? Yeah, I think I've heard that a lot of their shows seem like they could be kind of intertwined. I don't
The
know because I
insane
haven't seen that.
universe.
Yeah, that would be cool though. But I always awesome. But also, like I said, the Awake is really good too. I mean, not that it's like the OA, but it's really
Wasn't
good.
that was on network TV, wasn't it?
It was on NBC. Yep.
Okay, I think I remember watching that when it
It was
actually
not
aired.
on very long. It was not on very
Yeah.
long. It was good. That and the other one I keep saying that I want to do a watch party for. Now I think I found it on one of the places to watch Falling Water. I think that people would like.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it was also canceled. These kind of shows always tend to get canceled. They don't make it long enough. I think it's really cool that these puzzle box shows are becoming a thing. Like people are enjoying them. I mean, we have Severance. I think that the
Yellow
audience
Jackets.
Yellow Jackets. I think Yellow Jackets isn't quite as deep as them, but yeah,
Ugh.
it's still got a lot of hidden messages
Shut
though. It does.
up.
It does. No, but I'm just saying yeah. But I'm just saying like people usually didn't continue to watch those kind of shows and I feel like the TV audience is getting smarter and is looking for that kind of stuff. And
Mm.
that's why it's really cool to find people that like that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm saying like I think that people would like Awake. I think that you would like uh Falling Water. I don't know. Karen and AJ didn't like Falling Water. I loved Falling Water. I just was mad when it was canceled, but it's got that weird twisted,
Mhm.
take because it's about shared dreaming state is basically what it's about. And it's an interesting topic.
I
So
assume you've never seen Twin Peaks: Return.
I have not. I have not seen much of the original Twin Peaks either. I
Yeah.
know I should. I need to.
I mean,
One of
I
those things.
almost like The Return better, even though I've seen Twin Peaks like over and over again. But I'm always thinking I like The Return a little bit more now. I'm a little bit
Maybe, but I think you
like
probably should watch
Unbridled
the
David
original
Lynch
first.
is like so much a beautiful thing to behold.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you should probably watch the original first, shouldn't you? If you're gonna watch it.
Yeah,
What do you
probably if
think?
you don't want to be completely utterly lost.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I
you'll
mean.
be probably completely utterly lost even if you have seen the other two
True.
seasons of Twin Peaks.
Oh, Doc doesn't like Twin Peaks, I guess, but I don't know. I see. I haven't. Yeah, I would be able
Yeah,
to
I think I
rewatch the original
almost want to disembody it and say, just watch Twin Peaks: The Return episode 8 and then get back to
first.
me.
The thing is, though, is that Twin Peaks is one of those things where it is a big commitment if you're going to do a
Mhm.
rewatch. It's
Well,
like, I think
yeah, because with me, I watched it when it like was happening, so
it
I
makes a
don't
difference.
have to like just
Right. No,
all
I
these
get that.
episodes all at once.
No, I get that. And I think it was it Muncher, I think, said the other day, asked about a Lost rewatch, and that I said the same thing about that. I love
Mm.
Lost and everything, and I wouldn't mind watching it again. It's been a while, but like it's a big commitment. If you're gonna,
They had the
there's a
first
lot
two
of episodes.
seasons of Lost at a library sale over the weekend. I could have bought them for like $1 a piece.
I I have them all on Blu-ray somewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
where. Some of them are in my cabinet somewhere. But yeah, Lost is the same type of thing. Like it's a really big commitment. You have to have time to
Hmm.
watch it, and you can't like watch one here and a month later watch another one. Like it's not going to make
Yeah.
sense. And I just don't right now have that kind of time. But to do a short
Hmm.
show, I would be totally down for.
Like
Um,
Darkly.
yeah, like we can try Dark Place, but
Totally.
I do think that that the Institute is going to be good, hopefully, like
Hmm.
this stuff. I will have to let you guys know what I think once it
I
gets.
think there's another one called the Institute that was connected to Dispatches from Elsewhere. Have you ever seen that show?
Oh, I love that show. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that
there was
show.
one called the Institute that was kind of about the same premise. That whole like
Oh
game
yeah,
thing that
like
ended it.
was that like the documentary, the original one? I think I might have watched
Hmm.
part of that because I know that I watched part of the documentary that was based on the real
Hmm.
game back when
Yeah,
that was
me
all.
and a couple of friends actually got stuff from that game sent to us in the mail.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see
When we were up in
that's
San
my
Francisco, we found some things, and I'm like, "This is really weird." And we never really quite got there. One of my friends got there, I guess, into
that's cool.
the orientation or whatever it is.
Yeah, those are the kind of twisted, weird stuff I like. That's why I said I love puzzle box shit, and I wish there was
Yeah,
more of it. I mean, I don't know that the institute is going to be
yeah,
that,
but that
but
one existed in real life, which is
that
crazy.
did, yeah, yeah. I would love to do some kind of like ARG like that. I mean, we did the Lost stuff
Yeah.
they had online, but it was not quite that involved, clearly.
Hmm.
But yeah, it would be fun. But I love that show. I did watch that.
Yeah.
The main thing I remember is I was going to talk to the one woman and I had a migraine that day and I had to do it through email. That's what I remember the most.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, but that's the memory that sticks out. I was upset because I
Did
really
you
wanted
get
to
talk
do
to
the
Jason Segel?
No, no, it was it's been so long since I've seen it. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
Let me see. What's it called? Elsewhere? Say that again. What was the title? I already forgot what the title
Is
was
it
exactly.
Dispatches from Elsewhere?
Dispatches from Elsewhere. Okay, that's what it is. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember what it's called. Dispatch. But no, it was I know who, like, if I see her, I'll know who it was. I just can't think of what her name was. You know me, my brain sucks. Was it? No, it wasn't her either. Uh, maybe it was. Actually, I don't remember for sure who it was. I'd have to look it up. It might have been
Yeah.
Therese Booth. I don't know. I'd have to look at the cast a little bit, but anyway, at any rate, I just remember I had to, and I ended up I had to do it through email because I was really sick
Yeah.
and I didn't really have a choice. But yeah, that's a good show. We need to get together a list of all these good things we need to watch. That's what we
Hmm.
need to do. I don't know. That's why, like, I thought I got the opinion because everybody loved it so much. I thought that like Sinners was going to be some kind of weird thing like that. And
Yeah.
maybe that's why I didn't really love it. Maybe because I expected it to be something it wasn't. And I
Hmm.
think maybe that's why I wasn't that impressed by it. I don't know, because I didn't love it, and I know everybody else seemed to, and I was just kind of like, it was okay. Because I did do watch that when they watched it, and I did not love it. I was kind of like, really? It's about vampire? Like I expected more. I don't know, but like I said,
Oh.
I think that's partially my fault because I thought it was something it wasn't. It's not that it wasn't good, and it was good.
Hmm.
I didn't find it fantastic like a lot of people did. It was good acting
Hmm.
and good writing. It just wasn't what I thought it
Your
was.
flavor of vampire.
Yeah, no, I like vampires. I thought it was like some weird, I don't know, sci-fi bent thing. I don't know why I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure. I just thought it was something
Mm-hmm.
else. But it was good. I mean, I liked it. It just wasn't what I expected. All right. Well, I know everybody wants us to continue talking, but I do have to watch. Sorry. I hope you knew that much about A Golden Child. Uh, but I do have to watch some screeners, and I'm still not feeling really great. And the interview's at 10 a.m., so I really don't want to do much longer because it is getting close to
I want to
10.
go watch Dark Place.
Go watch Dark Place. Have fun
Because
with
I
it.
now got this part-time love. Because Matt Berry has a song that I'm a part-time lover. It has kind of like an 80s video kind of thing going on.
That's funny. That sounds like, I don't know why, but that makes me think of a Weird Al song for some reason.
Oh, well, yeah, Matt Berry kind of has that. They kind of like Matt Berry. He parodied his own Matt Berry and the Maypoles songs for What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just, when you said that, it made me think of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will have to watch that. But I really, as much as I want to stay and talk about other stuff, I really should get going, especially because I haven't been feeling good today. I don't want to stay up all night again. Like I said, I was up till 6:30 the other day, and this is why part of probably why I don't feel good, because I haven't been getting sleep.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. But guys, whoops, I'm gonna put a show. What's it say? Doc says I'm gonna put on a show and put on Stream on low volume and hang out in the chat. That's cool. You can also, Doc, I said before, you're welcome to stream in mine as well if you want.
Well, why don't we all just go into the Discord? Let's all go into the Discord.
Yeah, go into Discord. But like I said, Doc, if you want to stream it mine, you can. I think they're still watching Duster, aren't they? Or they're still doing I don't know. But anyway, you're welcome to stream something in mine. But I would stream it, but I really gotta get some sleep. And I know, Muncher, I'm sorry. I want to not feel sick. I need sleep. I'm sorry. But please do join us tomorrow night at 10. We have our roundup show. We're going to be talking about Surreal Estate, the season finale, hopefully only the season finale, not the series finale, we don't know. And as well as the premiere of Resident Alien. You're putting on something for you. Well, yeah, but if you put it on in Discord, everybody can watch. But no, I get that. I get that.
Or we can just sync up, both of us could sync up Dark Place together and watch it on our respective devices or TVs.
And I totally would join you guys, but I really do need to get done and get some sleep.
Yeah,
I need to get ready for these interviews. But like I said, join us tomorrow night. We'll be talking about Resident Alien and Surreal Estate. And I don't know, whatever else we want to talk about. I'm not sure what else Karen and AJ have watched. I might talk a little bit about Revival since it's coming soon. We'll see. What we might talk about the Institute. Well, whatever we feel like talking about. We usually talk about, that one is sort of more random. Oh, we do usually talk a little bit about Murderbot again, which I know Karen isn't loving. And Dead City, we do kind of touch on them, but they're not deep, not dives like we do here. But yeah, that's Tuesday. And then Thursday at 11, Scarlet and I have the Librarians, the next chapter, which is for episode 4, the one that's about Cupid, which aired tonight.
I love Cupid.
Make sure you come back for that. But thanks, Kimberly. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Muncher. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Golden Child. I'm sorry, Golden Child. I hope I didn't spoil too much of Sinners for you. Sorry about that. But I think if you watch the preview, you probably know that I was just dumb and thought it was about something it wasn't. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. We appreciate it. We actually got a good bit of traffic tonight. We got a lot of people that popped in, so it is appreciated. And if you missed the beginning, you can of course stream the rest later. But let us know what other kind of things you want to see us talk about, stream. Please leave comments, help the algorithm and all that out, and make sure you subscribe and like. And but yeah, Scarlett and I are going to be doing like I said, the Institute. Hopefully it'll be as good as we think it'll be, and I think I'm going to be doing the review show as well with Karen and AJ, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be the next From. Don't know because I haven't seen it yet, but as soon as I see it and the embargo is up, I will let everyone know what I think, but I haven't, so I can't say that. But it does look really good at any rate. It looks really fun, so hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, see you guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody. See you at the next one. I gotta schedule the next one. Schedule it yet. Oops. Gotta do that too. I probably won't get a chance. Karen or AJ will schedule tomorrow. Phantom Access, 10 o'clock Eastern, Muncher. Like I said, that's our mix show. It'll be Surreal Estate and Resident Alien and this and Dead City and just kind of a bit of everything. That's our or Tuesday show. The other show is Institute. I don't know which one you were asking about. The other show I was talking about was the Institute Muncher. But yeah. Okay. And yeah, and we will be having a watch party when Institute drops on the 13th and on every Sunday. So make sure you guys show up at Discord and make sure you join Discord if you haven't. Okay. Good night, guys.
Night.